Mr. Angel, I think there are a few people that would like to maybe come up and speak to you. First of all, Mr. Bristol.
Yo!
Bill Bristol.
Yeah!
Thank you. This is kind of tough right here. This is like hitting on for Rodney Dangerfield or somebody. I mean, Mr. McKelvey, good speaker, Mr. Speakman right here. It's just unreal. But I've been here so long. I've got so much respect for Mr. Angel. I've got to stand up here and say something. You know, I am probably out of everybody here, I'm the third oldest, I guess, right here. We've got Mr. Bob Williams over here in the shirt. He was Mr. Angel's first student, his first black belt. Undoubtedly, in my mind, in my opinion, the finest black belt that Go Jeep karate has ever put out, in my mind. And when you take your first and he reaches that class, that is good, really good. We got Mr. Gary Boyd, he's an H3 black belt here. He was probably the second longest. Mr. Andy Lewis in the blue jacket. He's been for 32 years, and I've been here 30 and a half years. And when I walked in, I remember it just like it was yesterday, because I walked in, I always wore a cowboy hat and wore over boots, and I'm bow-legged, and Mr. Angel, he told me later, he says, this punk ain't gonna last 3 weeks, you know? And, you know, 30 years later, I'm still here, you know? But you can't believe how much this touches me and all the old people. The man, if it wasn't for him, none of us would be here, no matter what. And we went everywhere. 1964, Chicago World Championship. I've been around the world with him. Not a finer instructor anywhere, in my opinion. And this is really a great honor right here. We got a little plaque here. Mr. Kenny. This is Mr. Bob Kenny. This is my partner. The Briscoe Kenny Karate Team, the Wild Bunch, we was national champions about 7 years in a row. This is nothing. I mean, I like to buy a plaque that's the size of this floor right here, really. That says to Mr. Lou Angel, father of Oklahoma Karate, with utmost respect and appreciation from the Briscoe Kenny Karate Team, Bill Briscoe and Bob Kenny. And like I said, I'd like to buy something the size of the floor right here, because we have that much respect for Mr. Angel.
Well, Bill Briscoe is here to talk about, let me say a little thing about him for a minute, okay? He was right. He did come into the dojo in 1964 with a white store, cowboy hat, t-shirt, and blue jeans and cowboy boots. And I did say, this guy's not going to make it. We went to Kansas City in Jim Harris's tournament in 1968. This guy's first match was with Joe Lewis, the legendary Joe Lewis in the karate world. I think everybody's heard of him. The crowd, for the first time, seen Joe Lewis get knocked down and bounced off the ground and a couple punches off his head. That crowd went crazy. Joe Lewis got up and was furious. He gave one of his legendary sidekicks to Bill here, and Bill smiled at him. On the way home to Tulsa, he said he's never been hit so hard in his life. Joe never looked. In the last 10 seconds, now here it is now, it's all even. Joe was so frustrated, he came out with a snap punch, and the referee gave him the point the last 10 seconds of the match. When this man got off the ring, It took me 10 minutes to get to him. That's how much the crowd gathered around and said, "You beat Joe Hood." 1968. Yo, I really can't say what this all means. Today we had a record-breaking tournament in Nevada of 233 contestants. And I'd like to thank David and Denise Jenkins for the excellent job they did with the computer and getting things going smoothly. We started at 10 o'clock and we got out by 4:45. Well, last year we got out at 8 o'clock. These guys in the 60s that you heard about, Bob Williams, he started in 1961, my first student in Tulsa, and my first man who played black belt under me in 1953. And at that time, besides all their forms, and they had to do 20 fights in a row. Because that's what we did in New York. So after his test, of course, we went next door and celebrated, and he got his little Triumph, and he had a girlfriend up in Columbia, Missouri. So I didn't know where that was at the time. And he got in the car and go all the way up to Columbia, barefooted, because there couldn't fit no shoes on his feet. And Barbara, it's terrific to see you. Came all the way from Colorado. I have to go here just for a couple of minutes, okay? I'll fast forward here a little bit, okay? Andy Lewis, let's step up. Let me see who you are. There you go. Okay, hold on. Andy was a fighter. Loved the free fight. Hated cockers. The only time he learned to cocker was to pass a test. So one day, we had a freestyle open dojo time, and he was black belt. And this guy comes up, there's two green cyclers, they're getting ready for a yellow belt test, came up to Andy Lewis and said, "Would you please help me with squid outs number 3, about him? I'm preparing for a test and having trouble." So Andy tells him, "You're testing for yellow belt and you do not know squid outs number 3. I want you to go in that corner and slowly give me 50 push-ups." Well, the guy buys him, does 50. Andy goes to one of his brown belt buddies and says, "Come here, what the hell is squid outs number 3? By the time the guy finished the push-up, Andy refreshed his memory and said, "Well, it's done." Then he took the kid out and said, "Now here's the final points of free fighting." I told you, remember? Okay, Gary Boyd is here with us, and he was the second one of the group that came into 61. Him and along with 2 others went to California. In 64, and they tested on the Gauguin Yamaguchi Hill, the son who took over in San Francisco at that time. Of course, he flew in, Ruth drove in, and he was old fresh and ready, wasn't he? Bob Santine and Darryl Mack, where are you guys? They ain't gonna stay this time. These guys went out to Mr. Parker's 1966 international trip. They were out there, and I remember Bob Santine at the Green Belt in Dallas, Texas, went down there and froze. Light contact, had his nose moved from here to here, went to the hospital, got a set, and came back to the mat. The guy won, there was no penalty at that time. Let's see who else we got here. Let me see. Mr. Kenpo. He got so involved in his training that his wife said at night he'll have nightmares and his sidekick his window out next to his bed. Where you at, Ken? Why don't you stand up there for a minute, okay? These guys are really terrific, guys. These guys haven't seen each other for years. And they got together and it was like a long lost brotherhood. They never lost it. We got people here from the 70s, George Morris, where are you? When I took over the dojo in 72, he was part of it. 22 years association with the man and not one time we had a harsh word. And I don't think he knows my first name. And we've done a few things outside the dojo together and it was always Mr. Andrew Sensei. Thank you, George. We got the picture for us out there. I see the light over your head, Joe. When you guys stand up. They were kind of responsible for getting me into the law enforcement. As we move along in the 70s, once I joined the police department, I kind of got out of karate a little bit. But they kept wanting me to keep teaching. And one day, the guys wanted me to teach, and they condemned the Web City jail downstairs in the bottom. It was unfit for use for human people. In a little negotiation, Chief McFarland, where you are, Chief, I see you there, allowed me to put the go-to people down there. They're unfit for human use, but the go-to people come down. And then a young man, Greg Bicknell, one of the black belts, brought me a young man down there and started taking karate. And this young man found himself in the martial art. He devoted himself to the martial art. We went to Springfield one time in '82 in Milton Adams' tournament, and he did a kata, and he won third place. So we took it gracefully, he did excellent kata, and we were walking out the door, and they called him back, wait a minute, we misadded, you won first place. In '83, he left, he went to California, and the rest is history, which was Mr. Jeff Speakman. At Parker Jr., I had the pleasure of meeting when I was a small kid in 1970. Mr. Parker Sr., when we became friends in the 60s, said, you ever need anything, call me. Well, we had a rough time in the 70s there, and I called him. He said, come on out here for 5 days. And the man from Chile was there, do you remember him? And I stayed at the house at Pasadena, and Mr. Parker showed me the business end of things, and we took it from there. So tonight I have Ed Parker Jr. and Blue Angel Jr. here at the same time. Where's Blue Angel Jr.? There we go. And the George Stewart. Of course, I'm going to fast forward here because it's taking up some time. But every man and every person, whether it was the 60s or the 90s, is important. Because without you people, I said I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't be here, okay? So I want to say thank you very much for being here, and thanks for everybody. Yeah, thank you.
Sylvia did.
This was coming up now. Help write that book, that MGK training manual that was put out in 1975. Without her help, it would never have been done. And Ken Bigby here back from the 60s also. Want this? Alice?
Just another word from the old school. I gotta have my notes here. Gee, I got to share the podium with Jeff Speakman. And the floor. Okay. For bringing a virtually unknown martial art to the Midwest, nurturing it through its infancy, making untold sacrifices for it, and for those of us who study it, for helping us to be, each to be the best that we can be. Tonight we honor this man who has touched each of our lives. My sensei, Mr. Kenpo, and I would like to present Grandmaster Lou Angel with this pair of commas and this plaque which reads, to Grandmaster Lou Angel for 40 years in the martial arts with respect and gratitude. Kenpo and Sylvia Dippy.
That young lady at one time, Mr. Speakman went to Independent, Kansas to work out, and Sylvia made, I don't think that man's got it to make it. He's not fast enough or strong enough. Remember that?
He didn't look, hey, he didn't look like he did.
I still got the letter, never mind.
Not to exclude anybody, is there anybody else that would like to come up and say anything at all? I'm glad I asked that because I forgot. Ray Gilbert?
My name is Charles Duff. Ray Gilbert. And Skip Shannon. I've had a lot of compliments on this shirt I'm wearing, and this shirt came out of our love and respect for Mr. Angel. When the Soki organization recognized him as a master of his own style, we have been working on a logo for our dojo in Springfield, Missouri to honor him, because he was the reason we taught, he was the reason we worked out karate, he was the reason for everything. When we put it together, the center of it was Mr. Angel. And when we put it together to where everything had meaning. The ring of knowledge, Yamahiga, first person with Goju, Miyagi, Yamaguchi, Peter Urban, Mr. Lou Angel. Whenever Mr. Shannon, Mr. Gilbert, and half a dozen other people got together, it took us 6 months to put this together. Once we got it together, we took it down and asked Mr. Angel to give us his approval. And he did. And we thank you. When the shirts were printed, Mr. Angel got the very first shirt that was printed. We also had a silk screen made that we had framed for him, because it was in honor of him. And that's what this is all about. When we had the shirt made up, we wasn't aware of this. We didn't even think about this. This is something that we look at on a daily basis. Honor and respect to our teacher, to our sensei, to Grandmaster Lou Angel. Like I said, we already have presented him a shirt, and at this particular time, I would like to give a shirt out of respect for Mr. Jeff Speakman, to Mr. Jeff Speakman, and Mr. Ed Parker Jr. Remember, this is out of respect for Mr. Angel. And I can't say that enough, because he changed my life. And he's had a positive effect on my 3 boys, and I wouldn't do it any other way. And we have a few tokens of our gratitude. Mr. Shannon and the Center City Dojo is presenting him a copy of Secrets of the Samurai, and this is signed and dated. Would you read the card, sir?
The card's in a little bit of the same humor that we talked about earlier. The front of it is your notorious fortune cookie. It says, "Great karate master in sky say, Hachi, Lou Angel will have another 40 years of continued success in babysitting ahead of him. Congratulations, Hanchi, and much continued success. With love and respect, Angels Samurais." It's signed by everyone from Center City Dojo and Mr. Gilbert and a few others.
First, I'd like to say I didn't present any plaques or gifts. The gifts that I hold are from my mother to Mr. Angel, and they're simply a token of what he's done, not simply for me, but for my entire family. He's been like a father to me. He's taught me, he's showed me new directions to go, he's encouraged me, he's scolded me when I needed it.